Hello everyone, I'm Madam Penina Barasa, and today I would like to take you through a unit called Concrete Technology under the subheading Types of Concrete Batching Plants. Concrete batching plants have got different types according to their different classification criteria, and below are the classifications. First one, we have got the stationary concrete plant and the mobile concrete plant. Stationary concrete plant is basically used for large-scale commercial concrete manufacturers, and they are permanently installed on the site. For example, on those sites that do the precast concretes, those plants are permanently installed and they cannot be moved from one place to another. Whereas on the side of mobile concretes, these plants can be moved from one place to another. For example, when you are doing a construction of a bungalow, you can decide to move your mixer from one place to another where the concrete is going to take place. Next one, we have got the commercial concrete plant and the engineering concrete plants. Commercial concrete plants are mostly used for the commercial purposes, whereas engineering are mostly used for self-use. Third one, we have got the independent weighing and the cumulative weighing. In the independent weighing method, it equips with a separate weighing unit for each materials, and after weighing each material, these materials will be mixed in the mixer. And this weighing method is not highly precise because it has got a complicated design and the cost. On the side of cumulative weighing method, all the materials are added into the unified hopper. Then the process begins, and this method is prone to errors and unfavorable for the final production. Next, we are going to discuss about concrete mixers. First of all, we have to understand what is a concrete mixer. The concrete mixer is used to mix cement, aggregates, and water to produce a concrete mechanically. And we have got different types of mixers, and the broad classifications are two: the batch mixers and the continuous mixers. And under the batch mixers, we have got two classifications: the drum type mixers and the pan type mixers. And under the drum type mixers, we have got three types of mixers, which are the non-tilting drum mixer, tilting drum mixer, and the reverse drum mixer. And below are drawings of mixers. We have got the tilting one, pan type, non-tilting, reverse, and the continuous one. Now I want to discuss one by one, and we will begin with the tilting drum mixer. Now, tilting drum mixer is discharged by tilting downwards, and it is mostly used for large projects, and its rapidness means that the concrete is delivered by gravity and the tilting of the drum is downwards. And it has got low workability, which contains large sizes aggregates of size greater than 7.5 centimeters. And it is mixed is also efficiency. And this mixer considers some factors when doing its production. It considers the size of the drum, angle of the drum, size of the blade, and angles of the blade. And these mixers have got one disadvantage, whereby the concrete sticks on the bottom of the drum. And to avoid this one, we have to do the battering of the mixer, whereby the cement mortar have to be applied first before the aggregates are added to be mixed. Next one, we have got the non-tilting drum mixer. Non-tilting drum mixer are not allowed to tilt, and the drum about its horizontal axis. For the discharge of the concrete, a chute is arranged in an inclined position to receive the concrete mix from drum and to discharge it out. In the case, the drum is opened at two ends and consists of blades inside. When the materials are poured through one end and mix is collected through the other end. It has got rapid discharge of concrete, but it has got delays because many concrete are vulnerable to segregations, and the large sizes aggregate is not discharged easily with the mix. So, size of aggregate not more than 7.5 is preferable for this type of the mixer, and it is generally used for small projects. Next one, we have got the reverse drum mixer. Reverse drum mixer is similar to non-tilting drum mixer, but in this case, the reversal of rotation takes place for different actions. And the drum has got two openings, one for the pouring of the concrete and the other opening for the discharge of the concrete. And the drum rotates about its horizontal axis when doing its work. The rotation of the drum takes place in one direction for mixing and in opposite direction for discharging. And it has got two sets of blades arranged for mixing and discharging. They are suitable for dry concrete mixers. Next one, we have got the pan type concrete mixer. This pan type consists of a circular pan in which concrete have to be mixed, and the mixing is done by the blades which are arranged in a star shape inside the pan. And we have got two types of the pan type. In the first case, we have got the circular pan, which is constant, and only the star blades are the one rotating about the vertical axis of the pan. And the other case, we have got the circular pan that rotates while the blades are at the static position. But in both cases, the mixing is efficient and concrete mixture is collected through the central hole provided in the pan. The rotation star blades contains special blades called the scraper blades, which will make concrete not to stick to the pan. The blade can also be adjusted in height so that there is no room for concrete to store in the pan. We can say among all the types of the batch mixers, pan type is the most efficient. Next one, we have got the continuous concrete mixers. As the name suggests, its operation is done continuously. The name it is self-telling it is duty that loading, mixing and discharging of mix is continuous, done until the work is complete or until the work break occurs. The loading of the material is done continuously by the screw feeders, and the continuous mixers are used for very large projects like the construction of the dam, bridges, or when constructing a high-rise building. Now we want to look on how to calculate the output of a concrete mixer. And before you do the calculation, there are some essentials that you have to consider, like the capacity of the mixer, the duration of mixing, the supply of the material, and the speed at which charging and discharge operations are carried out. And we have considered the speed of transportation concrete from mixer to the formwork because it limits the output of the mixer. And below is an example of the calculation. We want to calculate the output of a mixer of 200 liters capacity per day, and we have been given some informations like raising, skip, discharge into drum and lowering, which is a half the minute, adding of water 2 minutes, discharging a half the minute. Now when you want to get the total time for one batch of the concrete, you take all the time and add them up. Now we have to take the discharging time, which is a half. We add the time of mixing, then the completing of load, which is a half. We'll get that the time for one batch of concrete is 3 minutes. Then we usually assume that one day contains 8 hours of working, but we have to assume that 1 hour will be used for cleaning the chutes and the drum. Therefore, we have to use the 7 hours. Now we say that if 1 hour consists of 60 minutes and one batch does this work within the 3 minutes. Now we say, what about the 60 minutes? And we get that 60 minutes will have the 20 batches. Then we say that when 1 hour is equals to 20 batches, what about 7 hours? We get that 7 hours will have the 140 batches. Then the machine cannot work 100% efficiency. So we assume that it will work 90% efficiency. So we'll say that if 100% efficiency produces 200 liters, so what about this 90? We'll get that a 90% efficiency will produce 180 liters. And when we want to get the total liters that are being produced per day, will take the number of batches, which are 140, then we multiply by 180 liters, which is for one batch. Then we'll get that 140 batches will produce 2,200 liters per day. And that's how we do the calculations. Next, we have to look for the factors to consider while procuring concrete, batching, and mixing the plants. Now, first one, we have got the capacity of the plant. In order to meet the requirements of the project, specific parameters are mentioned above. A concrete plant of right capacity should be installed. It should take into account various ingredients proposed for use in the mix, like the admixtures, like plasticizers. Second one, have got the multiple mix design opinion. A batching plant needs to be shifted from place to place after the completion of the work, depending on its strength and the workability requirements of the concrete and the quality of the local available aggregates. Next one, we have got the mobility of the concrete plant. This depends upon the location of the work site. The plant's mobility is considered. Next one, we have got the automatic controls. Most of the activities in the running of the batching plant should be under an automatic control. Once the directions are fed, the plant should be able to read and operate automatically. However, you can also use a manual switch over. Next one, we have got the type of the mixers. And under the type of the mixer, you have to consider things like the size of the aggregates to be used, efficiency of the mixer, the mixing energy required, the mixing time, and the mixer capacity or the size of the drum. Next, we have got the accurate way batching of the concrete ingredients. The batching plant must have accurate way batching system with electronic controls and calibrated gauges for the measurements. Then we have got the feeding and storage mechanism. There should be adequate number of bins to feed aggregates of various sizes. Now, before the commencement of the work, the contractor has to prepare a plan as to determine how he will produce and transport the mix within the specified time limit, and adequate storage facilities for cement for carrying out 2 to 3 days work, feeding facility for coarse and fine aggregates, cement and other cementitious materials like fly ash. Next one, we have got the safe operation of the plant. Safety features of the plant should be started. Easy access, easy escape, protection against dust and the smoke. Proper installation against shocks should be some essential features to consider too. Next, we have got the easy availability of spare parts. You have to consider that the machine that you are going to use, its spare parts can be easily be accessed in case of a breakdown. Sales are combined with services in today's scenario. It should be ensured that spares are easily available for replacement as and required. In addition, service and repair should be prompt. The company's track record in this matter should be considered. Next one, we have got the minimum wear and tear. The batching plant should undergo minimum wear and tear. Next one, we have got the minimum energy consumption. The batching plant should minimize running expenses. I've got the minimum maintenance requirements. The batching plant should be able to withstand rough handling and demand minimum maintenance. Next one, we have got the low consumption of consumables. The batching plant should consume less consumable resources like the oil. Next, we have got the noise pollution. The batching plant should produce less noise to avoid environmental pollution and to avoid negative effects to the people operating it. Next, we have got the miscellaneous requirements, and these consist things like transit insurance, availability of toolkits, and many others. Last one, we have got the plant installation. Whenever orders are placed with a firm for supply and installation of a concrete batching and mixing plant, certain issues over site facilities should be sorted out at the time of placing the order so that no problems arises during the installation period. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. God bless.